introduction, so I appreciate it. It's quite true when I grew up during the Great Depression and didn't have any funds at all because my parents were very poor. So when I got ready to go to college in 1948, I had to work to pay all of my costs of college and so on. But it was okay. I worked on military transports, on other ships during the summers, and then continued to work during the rest of the school years. It took me a little bit longer to get my college degree that way. I didn't graduate from Washington until 1957. But one thing I did know and was very convinced of, I was really, really interested and supportive of helicopters. So once I graduated, had my degree and graduated, I went right into the aircraft industry, worked for a number of different manufacturers of helicopters, but I couldn't convince any of them to build the kind of helicopters that I wanted to build. I wanted to build a very lightweight, small, relatively inexpensive helicopter. And they all wanted to, the companies all were interested in nothing but the very large, very expensive military type of helicopters. So when I started Robinson Helicopter Company, I went right ahead and designed the small two-place R-22, which then became very successful as the #1 trainer in the world around, and followed that a few years later with the R-44, which was a 4-person helicopter. And now we have just completed and are finishing the type certification of the R-66, which is a turbine-powered helicopter that carries five people. So it's been very interesting, and it has turned out fairly successful. On the other hand, it doesn't show all the very tough years that we had to get through, and all of the Fridays we had to meet that damn payroll and to keep the company in business. A lot of our dealers and other people got some really good bargains on those last minute, an hour before we had to pick up the payroll at the bank, sales on helicopters. But it eventually all sorted itself out, and the company now is very substantial and doing very, very well. I would hope to think that some of you will also have an entrepreneurial spirit and think of something in aviation that you can go ahead and develop and ultimately produce. It doesn't take all that much. Well, it takes a lot more money than I had, but I was able to put it all together. What you do need is you need to have a real interest in the work that you're going to be doing. And you've got to have a lot of determination to take the idea that you have and be convinced that you can go all the way with it, no matter how many years or how much time it takes. Those of you who are just graduating now, and probably not what you wanted to hear, but it's not easy out there. And there's not a lot of financiers that are out there just waiting to give you all sorts of money to pursue your life's dream. But it can be done. You just have to have the determination and conviction in the idea that you are pursuing. And you also have to have a really good imagination. I saw something, a quote from Albert Einstein that really impressed me, and it said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Well, you may have acquired a lot of very valuable knowledge, but be sure you haven't avoided or missed developing an imagination that produces ideas that can work. So those are a few of the things that you might want to remember as you go out and meet the big world on the outside. Of course, I imagine quite a few of you will be going on to get graduate degrees and so on. But what I give all the engineers that we hire, and we've hired a lot of engineers right out of college over the years, and one of the first things we give that engineer, we give him a copy of a poem that was, uh-oh, here comes one of those noisy helicopters for us. But that poem that was written was the One Hoss Shay. I don't know if any of you have read that as you went to school, but it is something that I make every one of our new employees read so they'll get the right idea of how to design something that will last almost forever. And so far it's worked out pretty good. So I'll be looking forward to seeing some of you, and I hope that I see some of you at my company. And I'll be looking forward to giving you an opportunity to charge ahead with your ideas. Thank you very much.